Hey everyone, I'm audible. So from today we are also starting it on YouTube as well. Like we will stream our class on live YouTube live. So you guys get the current everything on the live video as well. So we don't have any delay on the videos lectures go live on the YouTube. Correct. So there will be like if we are streaming today, so it will be immediately uploaded on the YouTube. So no lecture will be missed for or you don't have to wait for the new lecture. So we will try to live stream as well. So that's the time we will start our class. Everyone, I am visible now, right? And audible. Wait.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you guys. So yesterday uh, we have studied in yesterday class, like JDBC, right? Why we need a JDBC?
To connect with the database.
JDBC, we need JDBC to communicate between Java and MySQL, correct? We need JDBC to make a connection between MySQL and Java. So that's how using JDBC we can communicate with our MySQL through Java, correct? And what is JDBC? JDBC is Java database connection. Connection, correct? So we have to create a connection using JDBC, and it can be we can create a connection using JDBC with MySQL through Java. After that, what problems did we face while using JDBC? We have written a code, we are writing the JDBC queries, we have written multiple parameters as well. So what is the issue in that? What are the issues we are facing at that time?
Database not found.
One issue is like if we want to uh, wait a minute, I will start recording as well if live stream will fail. So we have recording. So we what is the problem we face? Like lots of boilerplate code we have to write, right? To use the JDBC, what we are doing? We are just writing multiple lines of code. What are the codes? Like we have to first create a connection. After that connection, what we are doing? We are just creating a prepared statement again and again. We have to create the prepared statement, and we have to execute that query using prepared statement as well. So this is a lot of boilerplate code for us. But and for the database connection, what we are doing? We are doing manual database connection, correct? So when we are trying to create a connection, what we are using? jd While we are using JDBC, we have to create a manual database connection. After that, what we have? Like dependency management as well. So if we want to create a any program, we have to manage the dependency as well. But we have used the Maven, right? So we have reduced this dependency management using Maven at that time as well. Otherwise, what we have to do? We have to download the jar file. We have to put it in our libraries. We have to match the versions of our Java and library. Then we have to check if it is suitable for our version or not. Then it will only work with our connection. Then difficult project structure we are facing. What is the difficult, how difficult project structure? We have to define everything. or if we are not using some boilerplate code, or we are not using anything, so we have to define everything by us, like create each and every folder, create each and every file, create each and every connection. And there is multiple configuration as well for each and every program. We have to, if we want to create a scalable project, or we have to create some project which is which can be used on live or production environments. So what we have to do, we have to create multiple we have to create multiple what we have to do, we have to create multiple files, we have to done multiple configuration as well inside our project. Like to run the project, we have to uh, create a server as well, we have to connect it with the Tomcat server or JT server. There are multiple servers, we have to connect with any server provider, so it can be run on our local host as well. We have to do multiple types of configuration when we want to go to the production. So like if we take an example, like if imagine you are building a house, right? We are building a house without machines, every brick is lifted manually, it takes a lot of time, correct? Now imagine if we have a modern construction machines, like we have modern construction machines, we have same house, what we have to do, less effort, correct, faster construction. So here we have something like that as well. Like we have some libraries in our Java, we have some frameworks in our Java. Using those frameworks, we what we can do, we can generate our code faster, we can create our code faster, we can deploy code our faster, correct? So this we have a similarly we have a framework named as Spring, correct? So what is Spring? Before Spring Boot, we have to understand about the Spring as well. So what is the Spring? Can anyone tell?
Spring is a Java framework that is used to be production ready build REST API.
Spring is a Java framework used for developing enterprise level, like JK said, production ready applications. It provides features like dependency injections, transaction management, security, and MVC architecture. So like for the real life example, if we say we have seen like house, if we are building a house, we have to, or we are using some machinery, so it will be faster for us to build that house, correct? If we are doing it manually, it will be slower. So inside Java, it has multiple configuration we have to maintain. If we want to create a connection with MySQL database or any database, we have to configure it as well. If we want to create a program with something like it has a server, or we can deploy it somewhere, or we can like we can run it on some server, because Java also needs some server. So we have to configure the Tomcat server as well for it. And Tomcat server, it can be any other server as well, but or we can say like this we have another example as well. Like if we are opening a restaurant, correct? So instead of cooking everything yourself, what we can do, one person cooks, one person serves, one person manages billings, everyone has a separate responsibility, correct? So like there is a restaurant and we have a three persons team, one person cooks, and we have hired someone waiter, so he will serve the food, and there is someone who will be doing the billings as well. Similarly, we have a Spring. Spring what do? Spring encourages the same idea by separating responsibilities into layers. Using Spring, what we can do? We can separate responsibilities into layers. And over that Spring framework, we have a two or we can say, to minimize the configuration more further, we have a Spring Boot. So over Spring, we have another framework, or we can say extension of the Spring framework. We have a Spring Boot. So Spring Boot is an extension of the Spring framework. We have a Spring already, correct? Like first we have Java, core Java, then we have advanced Java. using those core Java and advanced Java, what we can do, we can create a manual project which have lots of configuration, lots of boilerplates, and we have to use lots of libraries to download manually and use it. Then we move to Spring. Spring provided us like separating our responsibility. It provides layering for our project. Then to advance the Spring or to make the code faster using Spring, what we have done, what our Java team done, they have created a Spring Boot. Spring Boot is an extension of our Spring framework. We already have a Spring framework. We have created a extension of it. ठीक? So then that simplifies application development by providing auto configuration and embedded servers. In Spring also we have to define the servers as well, or we have to provide multiple configuration as well. But to simplify these things, Spring Boot done what Spring Boot done, it created a provided a development environment which provide us auto configuration, embedded servers, and starter dependencies. So what are the starter dependencies? Starter dependencies are like when we are creating any project, we can directly choose our dependency, like we want a web dependency or we want a MySQL dependency. So when we are creating our project or initializing our project, we directly choose from our menu, and then we have selected like we want a dependency for the MySQL, we have selected it. We want a dependency for our web, we selected it. That's how we will get some dependencies downloaded when we even started our code. Correct. So it will auto configured and downloaded at the time of initialization only. Correct. Later on we can also increase the dependency by providing it in our Maven pom.xml file. Correct. Yesterday we have seen like how we can provide the dependency in the pom.xml file. Similarly, what we will do here also, we can provide our dependency in our pom.xml files. And without Spring Boot, what we have to do, we have to like download many libraries, we have to configure XML files. Like if we are not Maven or we are not using builder tool, any builder tools, what we have to do, we have to download many libraries, we have to configure XML files for each library. Then we have to configure Tomcat as well, or we can say server for us, and we have to configure the dependencies manually. So this is the lot of work to do to create a program or create a project. It is a lot of work, or we can say it takes, it requires time to create a project like this. So with Spring Boot, what we can do, start coding immediately. Before start coding, we have to configure multiple things without Spring Boot. But when we are trying to or we can say like we are bootstrapping our Spring, we are bootstrapping our Spring. So what is the bootstrap? Like we have seen in the CSS as well, we have a bootstrap library. We, if someone knows about these bootstrap and CSS, what it done, it provide us auto configured tools, or we can say it provide us auto configured code which have basic CSS properties are written in the bootstrap. So similarly, we have bootstrap for our Spring as well. So using Spring Boot, what we can do is start coding immediately without thinking about the configuration, like what multiple configuration we have to worry about them. So we can start coding immediately. Embedded server we got like Tomcat, or we can also change it. Then we get auto configuration. Then we have minimal step. So that's why we use Spring Boot in the enterprise level of softwares. Then what we have, without Spring Boot, we have to like same thing, we have to configure the multiple things. And if we take an example for the real world companies who use Spring Boot, like Amazon, Netflix, Google, Uber, Paytm, Razorpay, PhonePay. These are the multiple companies who use Spring Boot to develop their softwares. Correct. So, what are the advantages of our Spring Boot? Fast development. It gives us a boilerplates and it gives us a we can directly write the code after initialization of our project, and it has less configuration, it has embedded Tomcat server, it has production ready, and it is easy REST API development. We can create REST APIs easily using our Spring Boot. It supports microservices as well. Correct. So these are the some basic benefits of using Spring Boot. And what are the build tool we are using? Maven. Correct. So what is the Maven? What is the use of Maven till now we have seen? We
Connect
have
with the
used the
database.
Maven now to handle the dependencies. Correct. Suppose our project needs MySQL driver, Lombok, Spring Web, Spring Security. Then what we have to do? We have to download all jar files manually. Then we have to configure them. We have to configure their XML file as well. So using Maven, what we can do? Maven is a build automation and dependency management tool for Java projects. Using Maven, what we can do? It is a build automation and dependency management tool for Java project. It has two functions. Like first is build automation, and second one is dependency management tool. So dependency management tool, how it is a dependency management tool, we already seen, like how using the pom.xml file and using the Maven, we can configure it easily. Correct. We can configure any dependency easily. Then what we have build automation, we can say like we want to push our code directly on production. Before pushing our code to the production, what we do? We build our code, we compress our code, we remove unnecessary code from our code, we remove unnecessary lines of code from our code. Why? To minimize or to minify our project. Why it is necessary? To reduce the size of our project. Correct. So it only have required solution. It cannot, we cannot push directly, uh, we cannot directly push our code. Correct. So to make it production ready, what we have to do? We have to minify it, we have to build it. So then we when we build our code, it is easy to push on our server. Like uh, mm, imagine a mobile phone. We have a mobile phone. Correct. And we have to install any app from Play Store. What we do? We directly go to the Play Store and we install it. But what will happen when we have to manually download every file for our code? For the, like, we have to manually download the each and every file of our code. Correct. Like when we try to install the any application on our mobile phone, what we do? We just download the APK file. Correct. uh, we directly download the APK file, which is directly install our on our mobile. That's why APK file is, it is a build file. Using some build tool, we have builded created that APK file. Otherwise, what we have a whole code running on our server, or we have to download whole code files, and then we have to, if we want to share the file to our customer, what we have to do? We have to share the whole code files. So we don't want to share our code files directly. What we do? We just create a build file which is secure, more secure, which is compressed, and which has only required things in our files. So using any build tool, what we do? We just share that build file to our customer. So like Play Store, what Play Store does? Play Store download everything automatically, and it will extract it and run this that program in your mobile phone directly. Correct. So why Maven? We already know, download, copy jar, and paste, repeat. So with Maven, we just have to add dependencies and reload our program, and it will done. So after that, what I will share my screen. So is it visible? So use when we are using Maven, what we had when we are using Maven, what we have a repository. What is the repository we have? Maven repository, correct? Inside that repository, what is the repository for us? What is the Maven repository for us? A place where Maven downloads libraries, correct? So it is a place where Maven downloads libraries. Like we have seen for the MySQL connector J, what we have done first, we go to the Maven repository site, and from there we have copied the dependency, correct? So it has multiple version of our dependency as well. So we just downloaded it, or we can say we just copied it and entered it inside our pom.xml file, correct? Then we have done reload on our project. So that project that Maven automatically downloaded our down dependency for the MySQL driver and installed it in our program. And what is the full form of pom.xml file? What is the full form of pom? What is this pom file? What is this pom.xml file? We can say the project object model, correct? So this is our pom file, which is project object model. What it contains? File contains project info and dependencies, correct? We have seen yesterday inside our pom.xml file, what we have dependencies and project info, like which version of what is the version of our project, what is the name of our project. So each and everything, we can say each and every information of our project is stored inside our pom.xml file, and all the dependencies are also installed inside our pom.xml file. So for the information, like we have group id, artifact id, version or name of project. So these are the some things we have inside our pom.xml file. And what is the Maven life cycle? How our Maven life cycle works? How our Maven works? Does anyone know how Maven download the repository, how it extract that repository, and how it works inside our program? What it does? First, validate it. First, it validate our dependency. Then compile it. First, it will validate it. Then compile it. Then test it. After that, package it, install it, then deploy. So this is the life cycle of our Maven. How our Maven works? It has some life cycle, like first it validate our dependency, then it will compile it, then test it, then package it. After that, it will install our dependency inside our program, then deploy it. Correct? Now, if we want to create a Spring Boot, if we want a Spring Boot project, how we can do it? How we can generate a Spring Boot project? There are two methods, or there is three methods we can say. We have Spring software as well. We have and Spring ID. We also have some Spring ID as well. So use that. We can also use it, and we can directly create a new project using file new project for the Spring Boot as well. And there is a much common thing what many people use. There is a Spring, or we can say start dot spring dot io. We have a site name as start dot spring dot io. So what is the use of this site? This is a Spring Initializr. We can say this is a Spring Initializr. So what we can do from here?
Yes,
If
Spring
I
Boot
write,
project and
we
project.
can create a project using this directly. We can configure our project from here. So I will choose this for now. Demo, I will write it like Spring demo. Correct. We will choose our packaging as jar and configuration properties Java 25. We will for dependency I can use web. See this, we have a lots of dependencies like what are many dependencies we can directly install from here. Like yesterday we need MySQL driver, correct? To for the connection of our JDBC, what we need? MySQL driver, right? We can directly use it from here. If we select it, it will automatically installed in our project. So using this Spring Initializer as well, or we can say using dependency developer tool, we can directly install the dependencies uh, at the time of initialization of our project. So for now, we will use Spring Web, and after that, I will generate a file. It has downloaded something, correct? It has downloaded something. This is the file we got. If I try to open this inside our project, open, downloads, Spring demo, open, new window. So we got something like this. We have src main Java, and inside this what we had? Spring demo application, correct? What we had? We have Spring demo application here. Now we will understand the structure of this program. What we had inside this, we have src, then we have main, then we have Java, then we have what is this is the name we have selected like pom.xml.spring demo. It is a package name what we have selected, and after that we got Spring demo application. Here what we got Spring demo application here. Then we have some resources as well. So resources have some files like static templates application dot properties. We will understand about it later. Then what we have gitignore file, and one is pom.xml file. So what is the use of pom.xml file? Like we can manage our dependencies and info of our project. So inside that what we got group ID, artifact ID, version, relative path, correct? So these are the some info we have uh, inserted inside our this project. After that what we had dependencies as well. So we will not need it for now, so we will remove it. Build, after that what we have? Dependencies. So these are the some dependency like Spring Boot starter web MVC, correct? This is the dependency we have added at the time of initialization. Then we have Spring demo application. If I try to run this program, it started a server. Let's see what it is doing. It is creating a server. It is running something inside our program. What it is doing, it is running something. It is showing us spring, this spring logo, correct. After that, there is starting spring demo application using Java 25. Then what we have, Tomcat started on port 8080, correct. So what it is doing, it is starting our Tomcat server at the port of 8080. So it has started some server here automatically. We haven't installed this server, correct? Inside our Spring Boot project, we haven't installed Tomcat server. We just installed the this dependency. We have only installed this dependency, correct? Starter web dependency. Then how our Tomcat, how we got the Tomcat inside our Spring project? Because it is come as embed server. It come as embedded server for each and every Spring Boot project. Is it clear? So we have also inside resources, we have a file name as application.properties. It is it has spring application.name is equal to spring demo, correct. We can also change the port on which our program is running. How we can change the port inside it? We can simply write server dot port and we will provide new port here. We can directly change the port from here. We can directly update our port using application.properties file. So if I update it and rerun this program, now let's see. See there, our program, our Tomcat server has started on 8081, correct? So how much easy this thing, like if we have to change the port of our Tomcat server, it is too easy for us. We just have to write the server.port inside our application.properties file and it automatically change this port for us, correct. If we have to, if we are using Tomcat server separately, what we have to do, we have to do multiple configuration before changing the port as well. And then we have to reconnect our Tomcat server to our Spring application or Java application. But using Spring Boot we can do it in the blink of eye, correct. We just have to update the port directly into our application.properties file. So this is our first Spring Boot application, and inside this we have this file. So here, what is this? Spring Boot application. It has written a Spring Boot application, correct. And there is at the rate as well before it. See this. So we have discussed about the Spring Boot, like it has auto configuration, correct. It has auto configuration. So see this, org Spring Framework dot boot dot auto configure. It is already importing this thing here. What it is auto configuring? It is a target or retention, documented, inherited, Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, component scan. It has done multiple things which we have to define manually before the Spring Boot. So it has already configured these dependencies, or we can say these services, before our writing any code. It has just initialized, when we have initialized our Spring Boot project, it has automatically configured these things, correct, for us. Simple. We have main function here. Inside this main function, what we have, Spring Boot Spring application dot run Spring demo application dot class. So what does this mean? What is the meaning of this thing? What we are doing, we are doing Spring application. From where we are getting this Spring application? We are getting this Spring application from org Spring Framework dot boot. So we are importing something Spring application, then we are using run function of our Spring application, and inside this what we are providing, we are providing the Spring demo application dot class. What is this? This is the compile class of, or we can say this is a compiled value of our Spring application dot class, and this class is compiled and we have inserted it here directly. So that's how our Spring entry point of our Spring Boot application works. We can directly run this program and our Spring Boot application will start. We can directly stop our server as well for now. Now, if we want to create a API, how we can do it? There is just something like controller in the Spring Boot. What is the main use of our Spring Boot for now? We have to create a web application using this, correct? We are going to create some web application using our Spring Boot. So what we have to do, we have to create some APIs as well. We are using it for our backend as well, correct? So we can create APIs using Spring Boot as well. How we can create them? First, what we will do, we will create a package for controllers. What are the controllers? What are the controllers here? What are the controllers? Controllers is the, we can use controllers, or we can say we can create controllers to manage our APIs, or we can say to create endpoints for our, like if we say, if we go to our program here, and then I will write localhost 8081. Wait a minute. If we run this, anything is okay. Why we are not showing anything? Because we have stopped our program, correct? So it is not running it. But now what we are getting, white label error page. This application has no explicit mapping for slash, correct? So it is showing us 405. Why? Because we haven't created anything for this. We haven't created anything for our localhost 8081 route, correct? Inside this, we are just running our program. We are just running our program, but everything is empty. We are not doing anything here. So to send the response to our web server, what we have to do, we have to create some controllers, we have to create some routes. Here, if we see this thing, if we copy it and check it here, so inside it, what we have? First, we have HTTP. What is this HTTP? It is a protocol, correct? There are multiple protocols like HTTP, HTTPS, FTP. There can be multiple protocols. So for the URL, what we had? We have HTTP, because we are not using SSL certificate here. So for the development environment, we have HTTP protocol. Then what we have? Localhost. Localhost is our current server, correct? It is our current machine server, which is, we can also write 127.0.0.1, correct? This is our local IP. Local IP, we can say localhost IP, we can say. So this is our localhost. After that, what we have? 8081. What is this 8081? 8081, the, like, it is a port which is running our Tomcat server, correct? It is a port which is running our Tomcat server. But after that, what we got? Slash. We haven't defined anything for this slash inside this program. It is only working for this thing, like it is working for 8081, but it doesn't know what to serve at slash or any other route, correct? or any other endpoint. Correct. So it doesn't know what to serve at this endpoint or any other endpoint. It doesn't know what to serve where. So how we can tell it? We have to create something like I will create a home controller here. Correct. I will create a home controller class inside it. And how we can create it has some annotations like here. What is this? We call it annotation. We call it annotation. So what is the annotation? Annotation used to auto configure or configure dependencies inside our project. Inside our Spring Boot project, we need annotations to configure the beans. It has, like we can say it in Java, there is something called as beans. What is the beans? What are beans? Beans are the, we can say it is a set of structure, or we can say a set of code we have written already inside our Java program, and we can use it without creating or without initiating them. So we use Spring Boot application here. We are using Spring Boot application annotation here. But to create a controller or create an API, what we need? We are creating here controller, so it has a annotation name as REST controller. We can use REST controller annotation to create any controller here. So what this home controller do? We have to create something mapping for /url. We haven't created something for our /url, so we have to create a mapping for it as well. So how we can create it? There is get mapping. Can anyone tell what is this get mapping we are writing here? We have we have like for the most of the use, what we have: get mapping, post mapping, put mapping, delete mapping. We have another mappings as well, but we mostly use these four. Get is used to get the data from our server. Correct. We use get mapping to get this data from our server. We use post mapping to push this data to our server. When we when we try to uh, when we have to send the data from our web browser to server, we use post mapping. And we use put mapping when we have to update some existing data. So we already we defined our put mapping, and we will transfer it to the server. And then to delete something, we use delete mapping as well. So for now, what we will do, we will create get mapping. And for the route of slash, we will create something for our slash. We will write a function public string and home. We simply write a function for public string home, and here what we will return? Our string. It can be anything. Welcome to Spring Boot. Can we write it? We can write it. We just created a get mapping for our slash. Then we have returned creating a function for it, and we are returning some string from our server. So our server is returning this string whenever this slash method is hit on our browser. What it will do? It will search inside our controller. How it will know this is our controller? Seeing this REST controller annotation. Whenever is our code see REST controller inside our Java program, it will know that we are defining our routes here, or we can say we are defining our mappings from for our server here. So what we have done, we have created a get mapping here, and we have provided the slash here. Then what we will do, we will just created a function public string home, and we are returning some string here. So let's restart our server. So if we restart our server, then we will refresh our this page. So what we got? Welcome to Spring Boot, correct? We got here, welcome to Spring Boot, correct? So that's how we can create controllers inside our Java program, Java Spring Boot program. Is it clear how we can create some APIs here? These are our APIs. If I have to create something like about page, correct? We have to create something like about as well. How we will create it? Get mapping, and we will just define about here. And after that, we have to create a function public string about. Everyone know na how our websites works, how our websites works inside, how our websites looks like. If we have some website, what we have a home page, correct? We have a home page, then we have about page, service page, and other their features page, correct? So what we are doing, we are trying to create a simple website using our Java Spring Boot for now. So we have created a get mapping for our slash. Then we will do, we are creating a slash mapping with a get mapping with slash about. So here what we will do, return correct. We can write it, we can directly write it. And if we rerun our program, and here what we will do, we just write about. What we will get, we will get talent x minds Java full stack, correct? If we go to our slash page, we got welcome to Spring Boot. So what we are doing here, we are serving some pages here, correct? When we are using this thing, what we are doing, we are serving some data on our web page using controllers. Using controllers, what we are doing, we are serving some web pages, or we can say we are serving some data on our web pages. Is it clear? So let's see this again. Like what this in annotation do, what this annotation do, Spring Boot application, it marks the main class. What it does, it marks the main class. It represent our application that this is the entry point for our Spring Boot application, correct? It is used to confirm that this is the entry point for our Spring Boot application. Then what we add, REST controller. What it does marks, it marks the class as a REST controller. So it marks that this is our REST controller. So whenever we have to provide some API, or we have to uh, whenever we are entering some API for our localhost 8081, after the slash or with slash, it will be checked by this REST controller file. Inside this REST controller file, if it exists, then it will serve it, otherwise it will ignore it. Then what we are mapping here, what we are doing here, it maps HTTP GET request. What it does, to a Java method. What we are mapping here, we are mapping this method with our get mapping annotation. And what we are doing here, we are mapping our home controller class with REST controller. So see the difference here. What we are doing, we are mapping this function here, we are mapping this map function using our get mapping, correct? After and for the REST controller, what we are mapping this whole class, correct? So that's how our annotation works here. So any doubt here what we can do, or like uh, if we write something instead of about, I will write student, and here create a new function. Instead of it, I can write name Nikhil, and after that, simple. We will write it like this, and if we try to get this on our website, what we will on our web browser, what we will get, student is not exist. What we have done, student. Oh, okay. We have rerun this program. We have to rerun this program. Now we will refresh this. We will got name Nikhil here. Clear? So that's how we can create get mappings using Java Spring Boot. So we have seen, like, we have created a web application, or we can say we have created a Spring Boot application just by downloading it from our Spring Initializr, correct? Using Spring Initializr, we doesn't have to provide any configuration for it till now. We just have to download it, and we started our writing our code, and in within some minutes, what we have done, we have created three APIs, or we can say we have created three mappings for our browser, correct? So it is too much easy to use our what we have to explain again, Babo? Like using our Spring Boot, what we have done today, we have just created a, this is a basic demo of our Spring Boot application, how Spring Boot application works, or how we can initialize it. So using Spring IO initializer, what we have done, we have just created a Spring demo application. Then what we have done, we have created some functions inside our home controller. We have mapped it using REST controller here. We have mapped our home controller class by REST controller. So it will know that for the any URL or for the routes, it has to look inside our REST controller file, correct? After that, what we have done, we have mapped some method using our get mapping. Inside get mapping, what we are doing, we are providing some URLs, or we can say we are providing some endpoints for our URLs, correct? So we have created three endpoints. First is slash, second one is about, third one is student. So here what we are doing, we are just simply returning some string, and we can directly fetch them on our browser here. Is it clear, or any doubt in this till now? Any doubt in this? So this is the basic Spring Boot application we have created today. So can you guys do it with yourself as well? You can directly download or you can directly create your program using the Spring Initializer IO. You can use this and try to create a Spring Boot application using this. Then create some you can directly create some APIs like this. I will initialize a Git repo for it as well after some time. So when commit local changes, Spring Boot project demo commit and push. We will push each and everything. Hmm, it hasn't. We have initialized our GitHub project from here. Pushing to GitHub main. We have got this link here. So this is the Spring demo application link. Actually, GKS, it is little bit of difficult for us if we haven't done much of code today. You can see we haven't done anything right now. We have just created a initialization. Using initialization, what we have done, we have just created a project and we have created some routes here, correct? So we have only written this much of code, but think of Spring or creating this thing using directly Java. What we have to do? We have to do lot of configuration. It can be lot of tough configuration we have to do to reach this point. So that's how our Spring Boot help us to reduce those boilerplate codes, to reduce those configuration. We can just create we just have to start writing our code like this. When we have initialized our Spring Boot program, we just have to start writing code directly here. I can also show you something as well. Like you can also initialize your project like this as well. So go to this new project. We have here Spring Boot, correct? We got Spring Boot here as well. So what we can do? We have to create demo Spring, and we will select Java here. We will select type as Maven, correct? We will select our Java version here. So try to match the Java version with your JDK, and we will select packaging as jar. Then we will go to the next. Then select Web from here. We will search Web here. Then Spring Web. Then we just have to create it, correct? So it will also create our Spring Boot program from directly from the IntelliJ IDE. Is it easy if we try to do
Right, sir.
this like this, correct?
Yes.
We can do it like this as well. So any doubt in this? Any doubt in this for now, or everything is clear? What we have to do and what we have done today? We have just seen about the Spring Boot basics, and we have created or initialized our project only. We haven't learned anything that much. We have just created some controllers. We have created some get mappings. That's it today. It has multiple things as well, but for now we will just focus on the basics for now.